Tech news. Crosstech's board of directors has elected Lucille Buckland as interim CEO in the wake of Alec Cross's stunning departure. Cross's resignation came at the height. Come see the Furies live on stage. All specialty cocktails are half price while they're rocking out. Try the Mars Conjunction. It'll really knock your head off.
Wow.
Only at the Double Tap. Limit 2 per cup. Fans are heartbroken as K-pop star Seo Jun-sun has announced the cancellation of his American tour just days ahead of his first concert in Seattle, citing health issues and a desire to focus on a new style of music.
Yeah, I know that guy.
I love my Herman's vacuum. It's the only vac on the market with a detachable hose and easy-to-clean filters. My husband loves how clean the house is after. Visions are funny things, aren't they? To see the future, but not the whole future. Fragments. Metaphors. The universe instantiates all models to the extent of their completeness. Isn't that what the computer said? Models make for easy predictions. But if the universe wanted you to know something, why wouldn't it just tell you? There must be something to the mystery. It's the witching hour, my friends. Perhaps a vision brought you here, to me. That's what they do, always guiding us forward without knowing where we're going. I think they're a lot like dreams in that way. They may make sense in the moment, or maybe the one after. But one thing does not always follow from the last. So is a dream just a vision that comes to us in our sleep? Is a vision just a waking dream? I don't think so. After all, vampires have visions too. And we all know that vampires... Well, I'll let you fill in the blanks.
They don't dream.
Say
they don't
it!
dream.
Dream!
They don't dream.
Say it!
What is they don't dream for 200?
The most powerful Kindred in that room was not in control of this situation.
I got lost.
Fuck it, I'm in.
Good evening, travelers, and welcome back to the Court of the Jester Princes. I am your storyteller, Jonas Tintenseher. We are playing Vampire the Masquerade V5 Midnight Gravity. Joining me tonight, our thirsty thin blood, Casey Reardon.
I play Mathias Wilson, and are you thirstin' for a Thurston fact?
I sure am.
We'll pour it down my throat, buddy.
Of course you are. Well, Howard Thurston is quoted as a subject matter expert in Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Oh, that was a short one.
That was,
Cool.
yeah.
Well, you'll get the quote next week.
Oh!
Sounds like the material's thinning out a little bit.
I still got like 10.
You'll need more.
I know.
Our metrical Malkavian, Sky Swanson.
Many fish species possess the ability to alter their color, especially octopi, cuttlefish, and squids. The cells that allow them to change color are called chromatophores. Reggie.
Our harrowing Hecata, Andrew Frost.
My name is Antonio Stregano. Does anyone have a lozenge?
It won't help, buddy.
Oh, man.
Our talented Toreador, Rachel Kordell.
I'm Mars, and tonight's song is Strange Brew by Cream.
Ooh.
Good song.
I want you guys to know my brain, again, did a little short circuit, and it was really hard for me not to say our talented Toreador, Rachel Kordoriator.
You should have said it.
I really had to bite my tongue.
Oh, you're braver than me.
Correct.
And please welcome to the show our lurking La Sombra special guest, Meghan Martin.
Hello, hello, hello. I am what we do in the shadows. Resident La Sombra.
Hey!
Last time on Midnight Gravity, The kindred of Seattle gathered at the neutral ground of Elysium, where the coterie met with their allies, scoped out their enemies, and bore witness to Jimmy McKinley's rightful execution. Elysium was cut short, however, when two Hecata, none other than Antonio's mother Rosalina and his mentor Dante, crashed the party, offering knowledge of Prince Cross's death in exchange for an unknown price. Reggie was later accosted by a dark shadow named Ghost, ordering them to an auction the following month, while Timothy ran into one Lila Miller and has not been heard from since. Normally, Jimmy's unlawful child, Seo Jun's son, would have been executed along with him, but that would draw too much attention in this uncertain time. Instead, Seo Jun has been encouraged to cancel his tour and go dark. As thanks for their help, Vivian O has promised the coterie a major boon, one that can be exchanged for almost anything short of her putting herself in harm's way, as long as you can all agree on what that is. March 22nd, 2027. Seattle reels from revelations unseen. The mortal and supernatural worlds both tremble with the weight of what is yet to come. There is no telling what stirs beneath the surface, what whispers in the shadows, or whose ears they whisper in. Meghan Martin.
Yes.
There is one shadow in Seattle that stretches longer and darker than the rest. Who does it belong to?
That would be Chastity, Dollian. Don't call her Chastity, you can call her Chaz.
And what does Miss Dollian look like?
I think the best way to describe her wardrobe is champagne taste on a cheap beer budget. If you don't know anything about clothes, she looks like she is dressed to the nines. If you know anything about clothes, you can definitely tell that everything she's wearing is either from last season or it's a knockoff.
Oh, nice.
She's definitely putting on airs. She has a nice suave little haircut. She is always wearing black, so that she can fade into the shadows and not draw too much attention to herself. But she does have a little bit of a newsboy cap that she always wears, just something she's held on to ever since she was sired.
Oh, that's an old, you have to have that restored a couple times.
It's a good luck cap. It may have been replaced, but as far as she tells it, never.
Okay, yeah. Chastity, Chaz. We
don't call her Chastity.
Don't call her Chastity. We find Chaz in a little brick and mortar shop in Wallingford, North Seattle. The bright pink letters on the wall spell out Karma. The windows are cluttered and full of books and other trinkets. The interior is cozy, sort of lo-fi bookshop type vibes with a few patrons milling about. Someone's messing around with the Ouija board, a couple people looking at crystals. You are in the back room with Runa, who is wearing their usual, covered in jewelry and silk shawl, very flowy, lots of rings. As you arrive, they kind of beckon you in and greet you, and they snuff a few candles in the back room, knowing your preference for the dark, and say, okay, so I've been trying to focus on these terms that are coming to me. I still am not exactly sure how it all fits together, but so look at this. They pull out their phone and they show you an image of a tarot spread that they did last month, featuring the Chariot, the Tower, the Moon, and the Six of Cups. And they're like, so this I think this was about Cross. It happened right before that text came out, so it might have been trying to give a heads up. I'm not sure, but it was connected to this guy, that Bruja who was here. I don't know where he went, but he had this note, that note that I showed you, and it told me about the Oculus, and I still haven't figured out what that is. But then, and he flicks on his phone and shows you a picture of a studio apartment floor covered in sand that has been placed precisely with little colored sand pieces to show an image of a rundown house somewhere in the suburbs being struck by lightning. And Runa says, and this place, this is right near the bar, the Double Tap. You know, Mars, she hangs out there a lot, I think. And I think
I love Mars.
Yeah, right. She's great. They hang out there, and I think they all are in on it, and I don't really know what it is, but, I thought you would want to know. So anyway,
No, Runa, as always, this is great. Best tip ever. Is there anything else that you can tell me about the Bruja?
he kind of had like a Kurt Cobain kind of look.
Oh, okay, so he was a
And,
Kindred. Good to know.
Oh, yeah. And I think his van might have been haunted, but I didn't get a good look. I know he was there at Elysium when they executed Jimmy, but I haven't seen him after that, so...
Interesting. And do you know where I can find him?
No, he walked in, he introduced himself, and he left. I don't know.
Did he have a name?
His name was Timothy. Yeah, Timothy. Didn't get a last name, sorry.
I can work with that.
That's all. I just thought, I know you're heading over there. I just wanted to give you that heads up. And, you want to, if you see anything, you can well, you can't text me. You can maybe try and, Mars can text me. I have Mars's number, so she can.
Okay, good to know. We'll communicate through Mars.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Bye, Jess. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, as always. Thanks for the tip.
And you exit Karma. And how did Chastity get here? What does she drive off on? Or does she take the bus?
Chastity definitely does not take the bus. She is going to be on her motorcycle. It's sleek and black and also very noisy. I'm realizing now in retrospect.
Yeah. It's probably an older mechanical, doesn't have any of that newfangled Bluetooth stuff in it.
Not quite, but... And she is going to head off to find her new mark.
Excellent. Speaking of new marks, the rest of you have had about a month since Elysium to kick back, process what has happened to you, discuss with each other. Mathias.
Yes.
Before I get to what you want to have done in that month, several things have come up for you.
Oh, yes.
The first is that you took some of Jimmy's vintage DC comics.
Yep.
And sold those on eBay.
Absolutely.
That has earned you 1 temporary dot in resources.
Ooh, okay.
Right.
So you may either spend experience on that by the end of this story arc to solidify it and keep it, or if you can find a way to use it and spend it during this story arc, it's just a free dot that you can
$100 million.
throw out there. Well,
yeah, that's how much it was. 100
exactly.
million.
Yeah, get that.
It's a few thousand probably, but we don't specify exact amounts in this system.
A few thousand million. Got it.
A few thousand million? Yeah. Oh yeah.
DC Comics
We made
number 1 worth more than the entire world's supply of gold. Also, you have 2 bags of this synthetic blue vitae that you've been studying and keeping refrigerated. I'm sure you may have other questions. One thing that you have definitely figured out in this time period is you have reverse engineered most of the formula. It's nothing super complicated. Like, it's obviously very well put together, but it's a lot of chemicals and ingredients that you have in your little laboratory at your haven.
Yeah.
The one thing you're missing, I should say the 2 things you're missing are the exact process by which it is made. There may be some special instruments used. And the base blood that goes into it has some special quality that you are unable to replicate. If you had those 2 things, you think you could probably whip this together yourself. But they are lacking.
Okay.
Lastly, after Elysium, when you had some time to think, you had already been trying to place the strange voice that you heard on the computer in Jimmy's Haven. And once you've gotten out of the chaos of Cross's death and everything, you remembered that you have heard from your contacts, whispers among the Thinbloods and others in Seattle, that there is some kind of hacker agent active in the city who has targeted Kindred systems in the last year or so. Now, you don't have any evidence that these 2 things are connected, but the way that the voice spoke and said that it could wipe the drive instantly and remotely, can't help but think they might be one and the same.
Right. Okay.
What else has Mathias gotten up to in the last month?
So, for the majority of the last month, Mathias has kind of been held up in the prop theater, working on the blue blood, but also he's kind of started going out and talking with a few more Thinbloods at this point.
Mm-hmm.
For the majority of his time, he has kind of avoided them for several different reasons, but he's starting to talk to them a little bit more, and I think in those conversations that he's been having, he's learned a little bit about other types of alchemy. Alchemy that these other Thin Bloods have said specifically to not tell other kindred about, because it is alchemy that can mimic other kindred abilities. And other kindred don't particularly like that. So in those conversations and in his time in the lab, he has learned a new ability which will come up at another time, and I will not tell these other kindred in the room quite what it is just yet.
Scandalous.
But I think he's also started talking a little bit more with the Olympian conjecture.
Yes, your contact Cassandra Brahm, member of a Thin Blood advocacy group that has been active for about 15 or 20 years in the Washington area. Cassandra has been investigating this blue vitae with you as well, and she has access to slightly more advanced tools and is able to maybe get a better handle on the process, but seems similarly confused by whatever special quality of the blood is used as a base. She's put out her feelers along with you, but no one else seems to know anything. And let's do a little roll. Let's give me intelligence insight. You may add 2 dice for your ability Loquacious Olympian.
Okay. Insight intelligence plus 2. That's going to be a 4. I am going to spend a willpower as well to reroll 3 dice. All right, that's going to be a 5.
5 successes. That's pretty good. I think in this time, again, it's still kind of chaotic. There's still a lot happening and a lot to deal with. But as you're talking to the other Thin Bloods you know in Seattle, you get the vibe that they do know something and you're being pushed off for asking. And Cassandra is the only one who seems to kind of be in the same place as you and not really in the loop, it seems. Nothing specific, I think, in this time period at least, like nothing that's like this person is in on it, but like it seems like there's something that's been going on in this community that you have not been close to. They are nervous to talk to you about it.
Specifically nervous to talk to the 2 of us?
Yep.
I think back at the prop theater, which I don't take very many people there. I don't even think most of the coterie has been there.
Sure.
I think me and Cassandra are working on it again late one night. And Mathias just is getting a little bit frustrated before he turns to her and says, It just doesn't make any sense. I can't, anything we look at, anytime we pick this thing apart, I can't even smell anything. What is it about this? And why won't anyone talk?
Well, kind of think those might be the same answer. Look, Mathias, I appreciate everything you've done for me and the conjecture, and you've helped me out a lot in Seattle, but things move around you, whether you want them to or not, and I think maybe things have moved a little faster than you've been expecting.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't think everyone is as content to sit on the outskirts as you are. I think maybe some of the others, I think they're trying to do something. And I don't know what it is, but I want to find out with you.
I would be more inclined to get involved if I had any inkling that it would make one lick of a difference. I understand there's more of us, but nobody's organized enough. You are the only one who has even remotely tried to organize people. And no offense, but the conjecture isn't as big as it needs to be.
She doesn't seem offended. She kind of like nods and narrows her eyes, like that's true. And then she turns to the alchemical equipment, the cylinder that you have some of this blue stuff in. She's just like, that's the difference. This gets out. I mean, this could be bigger than Cross. Can you imagine what it would be like if they didn't have to feed, to hunt?
So what? They're not telling us because they think we'd tell them?
Kind of looks at you. She reaches up and just rubs a spot underneath her right ear. She says, maybe.
I guess.
Or even if you didn't want to tell them, someone would get it out of you. Just keep looking into it where you can, and let me know what you find. I'm with you, okay?
Yeah, will do. Thanks for coming by again.
Yeah, anytime. Reggie, after Elysium, videos surfaced of you on OKSO and YouTube snarling and spitting at citizens in the street before a local rock star pulled you away. Both of you have received some unwanted attention and judgmental stares, but with the city's kindred in chaos after Cross, as well as Vivian being now aware of your existence, you have not yet been accused of a masquerade breach. However, Reggie, specifically, your disliked flaw will increase to a 2 dice penalty for the duration of the current story.
Fuck. That's great to hear.
It'll go away once people forget. The news cycle is quick, but for now, people look at you and they're like, "Oh shit, that's the kid from the video."
I think there was
Stay away from
definitely
me.
some moments where Reggie was, like begging between cars or something like that, and like some people rolled down the window and be like, "Hey, you're that Snarl kid. Hey, Snarl will give you $1." And Reggie's like,
Snarl kid.
No.
No.
Like, all right. And then they don't give him $1.
Is there anything Reggie has gotten up to in the last month other than begging for spare change?
I think that with the unwanted attention, Reggie might be, feels bad about the whole situation, so might be giving Mars a little bit of space there. But, I mean, they're just trying to keep their head down right now. They feel like there was so many eyes on them at Elysium, even though it wasn't brought up. Reggie's, the whole fact that they were transformed illegally and all that other stuff.
Yeah, you kind of lucked out that it got cut off.
Yeah, that was the best luck that Reggie has had in a long time.
Yeah.
So I think Reggie is continuing to just kind of keep their head down right now.
That's a good move.
They might go and see like one of their touchstones in
Your
here. 'Cause I'm
dealer?
trying to remember. Yeah, they might go see him when they have like a little extra cash.
Or the homeless shelter manager you stay at sometimes.
Yeah, they might when things are first getting a little too hectic and they feel like they can't find a place to hide, they might go there and be like, "Hey, can I crash on your couch for a night?"
Sure. Let me also ask, did you send that letter that you were working on?
I wanted to have it properly written out, but yeah, I think Reggie finally sends it, and it's something really simple along the lines of like, "Hey, Mom, know you haven't heard from me in a while, but I have an address now where you can send things. It's actually sort of a job, So if you want to send something back, send it here." And he adds the address to the coterie on it. And then, and then she basically doesn't say that they're vampire, just kind of mentions that the job is a little scary. And,
Bad for visiting hours.
Reggie.
They don't really mention that they miss them, but they just kind of mention, to be like, "Hey, thinking about you occasionally."
Well, speaking of touchstones, Reggie, you do have something for me. A stain on your humanity.
I do.
Yeah.
Now, Vampire is a game about monsters. It's about doing bad things, feeling bad about them. There is a mechanic in this game called a remorse test. At the end of every story, it's supposed to be session, but we're scaling it up a little bit. If you have any stains on your humanity, you will roll a number of dice equal to the unmarked and unchecked boxes on your humanity track to see how the guilt takes you. So how many boxes is that for you? How many clear boxes do you have left?
Yeah, there's 7 filled and 1 crossed out, so then I would have 2. Okay.
Well, because you have spent this time reconnecting with your touchstones and laying low and avoiding kindred affairs, I will also give you 1 bonus die on the remorse test.
Radical!
So go ahead. 1 success on a remorse test, no matter how many dice you're rolling, means that you have not yet lost touch with your humanity, and the beast will not drag you down this night.
Ooh.
Your humanity stays at 7.
Okay.
You may remove all of your stains. You may feel grateful that you are still clinging to that facsimile of mortality. For now. Antonio.
Hello.
Your mother has not visited you since Elysium, but every time the rear door of the mortuary creaks, you can't help but turn your head and expect to see her there. Dante, your mentor and employer, has told you what he knows, but he knows very little. Only that the Hakata aboard Megara's daughter, the White Yacht, are now also in search of the Oculus, having confirmed its existence thanks to a soggy Bruja who fell out of the sky. Murmurs abound, but all of that attention on them has not quite fallen on you yet. What has Antonio gotten up to in the last month?
I think Antonio spent most of his time and energy trying to research into what the Oculus is. And I don't know if that's fruitful, but I think he's just trying to get a semblance of it.
Well, it's funny. We have someone here who could clue you in. Let me ask Chaz, if Antonio had asked you about the Oculus in this time, would you have told him anything? You can say no.
Well, I think my question for Antonio is, have you ever done me a favor good enough that I would have told you?
Well, I think that depends on the information that you've needed to get from me. I think Antonio's always offered things openly to you. He's never tried to obfuscate the actual nature of things and the shroud and all of that. So it's really up to Chaz.
No, you know what? I think that Chaz probably thinks that Antonio's a good guy. He's always got her back. He's always there when her back needs scratched. I think she would absolutely tell him if he asked.
Oh.
So, Antonio, why don't you go ahead and roll intelligence academic. You still don't have occult. You need some occult. Intelligence academics, and I'll call this a higher difficulty.
All right. So, I think I'm going to use some willpower for that one.
Spend some willpower? Yep. We got 3 dice we can reroll.
I'm going to use another willpower again.
Okay, we still got 3 dice we can reroll.
I can reroll all day. Okay, that's a lot more doable. I can work with that now.
That's a 6
All right.
now, right?
Yep, that's 6. Excellent. Great. So, didn't expect this to be an exposition dump.
That's what we want.
In working with Chaz and in working with Mathias, and Meghan, I'm going to turn to you in a moment and just ask what you tell him. But here's what you find from your research. Again, this is an academics role, not an occult role. So your sources are somewhat limited. But I think first of all, you can confirm with Mathias what he learned, which is that there was an Oculus in Seattle. It showed up somewhere in the 19th century and has not been mentioned since. Between what you've heard from Evelyn and from what Jimmy was saying and the voice on the computer, from what Reggie described in the crossroads on the sprawl, and with Timothy's help as well, you have confirmed that the door surrounded by the glowing lights is the Oculus. So it is neither a location, nor an item, nor an event, but this portal, this gateway. It has many names that have been referenced in many times in many places. The door to Nightfall, the door Unblinking, the portal Nocturne, the Umbral Gateway, the Midnight Door. It carries similar references in other occult texts from other places in the world, but in terms of this collection of events and this description of it, that seems to be a Washington local thing.
Okay.
And Chas, what would you tell Antonio about the Oculus?
I think that I would confirm anything that he's already discovered about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I would tell him that you can always find it when you're not looking for it.
Mm.
And I think that I would tell him that if you're trying to open it, it'll open when it's time.
All excellent.
Okay. Noted.
And then I would hold out my hand for whatever payment you're going to give me for that information.
It pulls out a 20 and just gently places it there.
A coupon for 3 bodies disposed of with no questions.
I got drinks in the fridge. Help yourself.
And I give him a little wink and a finger gun. This is why I like this guy.
And Mars.
Hello.
Things have been going probably the best for you of everyone in this coterie. You're rocking out with Mercury and Venus. You're playing regular shows at the Double Tap and other clubs in the city. And you have some newfound attention and kind of status thanks to your participation in the subdual of Jimmy McKinley. What else has Mars been up to in the last month?
You mean in Kindred society?
Yes.
Because in mortal society, we're
just rock stars.
We're just rock stars. We're kicking it.
Yeah, just rock stars.
Just rock stars.
No
And
biggie.
some people are sour about that.
Not sour about anything.
Your thing with Reggie has also escalated that a little bit as well. People are now referring to you as the goth rock superhero of Seattle.
Yeah, there's been a couple of those events, haven't there?
Yeah.
I actually think when that kind of starts to come out, the band, we immediately try to curb that a little bit and kind of talk about it online, and if there are interviews, talk about it in a way that it is more of a performance stunt to promote a new album or song that's called Street Crawler.
Nice.
And kind of use that fun rumored title and the event to kind of just make it casual, continue to masquerade, etc.
I love that. Why don't you roll?
Okay.
I think this is manipulation plus technology, and I will give you 2 bonus dice for your past sort of reputation.
History, yeah.
Aiding this.
Wonderful. We're re-rolling. It was a full success. It was a full failure,
one
sorry.
full success.
Yeah,
on,
one full success.
On 6 dice.
Okay, so we're re-rolling. Okay, wow, 2 successes.
2 successes? Listen, Reggie is pretty badly disliked. I think people can figure out that they are not part of a stunt. Unless you want to spend another 3. Or another willpower, rather.
It's okay. It's okay.
No, it's not. I'm spending it.
Okay.
So 3 successes.
On 3 successes, I'll say it's enough to curb the attention on you, but not Reggie.
Unfortunately, self-preservation is more important. I care about Reggie, but...
Yeah, you're able to spin it for your band. Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, other than that, trying to keep that talk down or at least beneficial. The other part of it is... So, we haven't really talked about it too much yet, but before the Chronicle, the Furies band had recently separated with their management team publicly, and this is another month passing away from that, and I think during that time she has continued to develop her personal abilities, her disciplines, and kind of grow her strength to kind of just maintain her personal boundaries.
Absolutely. All right, that brings us to Monday, March 22nd, 2027. It is a new night. At Reggie's urging, 4 of you have gathered this evening at the Double Tap, expecting a visitor from Clan Lasombra. Everyone, please clear your health and willpower, other than whatever you just spent. Set your hunger to 1, and then make a rouse check.
That's going to be another success for me.
That's a fail for me.
That's a fail for me.
I had a Kindred Capri Sun before leaving the house today.
Rouse check.
First rouse check.
Woo!
First rouse check. I'm betting that it's going to fail.
All right, I'll bet it's going to succeed.
Place your bets.
Ooh, what do I get?
I'm gonna be succeed. It's a guest star. They're gonna succeed.
Jonas, what you putting on the line?
Reggie's life. I put Reggie's life on the line.
Yeah, I bet Reggie's life. Will Reggie die? Will Reggie die? Will Reggie die?
Am I going to eat Reggie?
If they succeed, Reggie lives, and I gain nothing.
Oh.
If they lose, Reggie dies. Ah!
And that's a wrap on Reggie.
All right. So a few of you at Hunger 2, the rest at Hunger 1. The 4 of you, sans Chaz, have gathered in the Double Tap, this sort of larger house that has been renovated and refitted as a bar and performance space. You guys are in the green room, which used to be like a den, basically, that has been partially soundproofed and cleared out of most of the furniture. It is a Monday night. There's no live music. The bartender, Haven, has given you this space as a favor to her friend Mars. The 4 of you are chilling, chatting. Maybe the first time the 4 of you have all come together since Elysium, or since shortly after it. Is there any chat or any conversation that happens there before Chastity arrives?
I think they use this space for LARPing when shows aren't going on.
No, Reggie, no. It's just a bar now.
No? Oh, that must have been a different bar then.
Maybe. So, how have you all been?
I think Mathias is just kind of sitting, rubbing the back of his neck a little bit, just on the spot where his brand is, and he's kind of zoned out.
Someone gave me $5 the other day. That was pretty cool.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. That's good. And you, Antonio?
I've just been keeping my head down, looking into things.
Really just par for the course.
One-trick pony.
Mathias, are you okay?
Huh? Yeah, I'm fine. I don't need a Coke.
I imagine so, considering we don't drink those anymore.
Right. Sorry. Old habits, I guess.
Then what's that in my fridge?
What was that?
Never mind, don't worry about it. I
Gotcha.
try to make a joke. That's why I don't do that.
Yeah. So no one has seen Timothy, yeah?
No, not since Elysium.
I was gonna ask. I don't have his number, so.
I mean,
Do you have more minutes at this point?
I got a new phone, and they pull out a little like flip phone. It's red this time.
Oh, look at that, a flip phone.
Yep, it's got 50 minutes on it.
Wow.
Couldn't spring for that
that's
10.
awesome. Yeah, okay, yeah, I mean, I have his number, but he hasn't really responded, so I don't know.
I'm a little bit concerned, to be honest.
Yeah.
If you text Timothy, you would get like the messages are not getting delivered.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I'm a little concerned the fact that they're just not even getting received by his phone, but...
Could have left Seattle.
Yeah, with Evelyn in the picture again, makes sense.
Seemed like he was running from something from the start, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he was only sticking around because of the prince, right? So...
Well, no, the prince just basically granted him sanctum, and when the prince died, wasn't guaranteed anymore.
Yeah,
I don't think he
exactly.
was here for the prince.
Interesting. Well, I hope he's okay.
Chaz, you've heard this entire conversation from your position in the shadow of the doorframe.
Oh, I've been sitting. Oh, am I in the doorframe?
Have you been sipping the Coke?
You can be wherever in the room you want, but
I was going to be sitting just in the darkest corner of the room.
Sure,
I've been there since they walked in.
absolutely.
How big is this room?
It's probably a decent size. Like it's a kind of a living room den type situation.
Okay.
So I'm bad at spatial reasoning. I want to say like 15 to 20 feet.
Sorry, there's just something kind of funny visually of just like a big empty room, us to one side, and then just you in the only shadow in the room.
So I think I'm actually going to interrupt all this talk about Timothy. I'm going to clap my hands together. Okay, so I was actually expecting...
Holy shit! And Reggie drops their phone and oh.
Yes!
Oh no!
Oh, maybe I could return it.
It's okay, we'll get you a new one.
Yes, sorry, I always forget about the shadowy thing. I was expecting 5 of you, and I'm only seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, but from the sounds of it, we're missing a friend currently?
Yeah.
To be honest, we weren't expecting you.
Can't say he was much of a friend either.
What?
Oh,
He
okay.
was nice.
Okay, well, as long as
was
it wasn't a
fine.
close friend.
Can't say I really knew him.
Okay. He was part of our coterie. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Mars. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Good to see you, Jess.
Good to see you, Antonio. Nice as always. And you two are...
Jackson.
Jackson.
That's Reggie.
Yeah. No.
Reggie, it's okay.
Why?
Reggie, it's okay. Reggie, it's okay.
Jess is good people, don't worry about it.
I don't know. You kind of look like a Jackson. It's a good name. Reggie suits you better.
Yeah, we'll just go with Jackson.
Hearing Antonio say that you're good people, Mathias will say, Mathias.
It's a bold thing for him to say. Hi, Mathias. And I stick out my hand to shake your hand.
I reach out and shake it.
And I reach out to shake Reggie's hand.
Reggie cowers in fear.
I insist. All right, any hoozles, everybody. Introductions are over. This has all been very lovely. But I'm sure you're all wondering why you're here.
Usually.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, Mars leans back in the chair and is like, I'm always here. But yes.
I don't really remember getting here.
Reggie, I drove you, remember?
Thanks, Mac.
Mars.
Great. So it's been absolutely charming listening to all of you doing your cute little catch up, but we do have some business to get to. I've actually been sent here by Olga. I'm sure you've heard of Olga.
Yeah, we're aware.
We're familiar.
Uh,
She's a Primogen.
That's the prim of the somber, right?
Right, that one. I'm sorry, names.
Hey, I remember that without looking at the character map. Look at me go.
Good job,
I was
Andrew.
who? Of course, Olga. I know Olga.
Of course, we all know Olga. So I've actually been sent by Olga to bring you to her. She has a very, very special mission in mind. And as you know, this is quite the honor. So I'm sure that all of you are going to want in on this, right?
Any details on that?
During that awkward pause, there is a knock at the door to the green room. And a woman in her mid-30s, Chinese heritage, sort of a suave kind of short bob cut, wearing like a denim jacket with a puffed collar, pokes her head in, kind of knocks on the inside and goes, "Hey, Mars.
Hey, Haven.
Hey, Rowan is here. He,
Her eyes widen.
I was gonna tell him to just fuck off. Is that cool with you? I can call the cops if you want."
No. Are you serious right now?
Sorry, I'll tell him to get out of here.
No. Fine. You know what? Send him in. But
Are you sure?
you know what? Where is he? Just at the front?
As you ask that, another head pokes in through the door. This is of a much younger black woman with sort of medium skin tone, big, hard-rimmed glasses, and this mop of curly hair. Pokes her head in and goes, "Hey, I have the cops. I have 911 dialed, and I can call right away.
Aries,
it's totally
Aries, I swear to God."
Haven pushes Aries aside and is like, "Go back. Your drink's getting. Go." And Aries is like, "Okay, but I can call. Just tell you know if you need anything." And Haven is pushing her away. It's like, "Are you sure you want to talk to him?"
Yeah, just send him in. Sure. Let him know he's... Never mind. Dealing with my business. Sorry. Excuse this interruption.
Haven closes the door and ducks away. You guys have another minute to talk.
Yeah, Chaz isn't going to interrupt, but she is going to check her watch because she was kind of in the middle of something.
Yeah, should we meet you there, Mars? Or
Just give this a sec. It'll resolve very quickly.
Oh, I'm more than happy to just sit around and watch, listen.
Sure. Honestly, I'm gonna need it right now.
The door opens again, and in walks the most beautiful man in Seattle.
Mars is ready with daggers in her eyes.
He is late 20s, perfectly parted hair, thick, full beard that comes to a point, wearing his trademark dark navy suit, blazer open, no tie, shirt, top buttons unbuttoned. And as soon as he enters, all 5 of you, are instantly enraptured. Even if you're annoyed at being interrupted, there is no doubting that this man is gorgeous and deserves your attention.
Ooh.
Hello, Elliot.
He comes in, he kind of looks around, he says, I see I'm interrupting something.
Mm-hmm. You are.
My apologies.
That's fine.
Oh, no, go about your business. Fine with all of us, right, everybody?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, not like we're dying anytime soon or anything.
That's so nice to hear.
Can we help you?
Yes, Mars. I was just hoping to speak with you privately for a moment, if I will. I don't mean to detract from whatever important business I'm sure you're dealing with.
I lean over to Antonio and I say, is he the 5th one?
No.
Okay, shame.
She blows out like an exasperated breath and looks up at him and is like, fine, sure. She stands up and she says, sorry, if you'll all excuse me for a second, I'll be right back, and follows him out.
He smiles, gives one last look at all of you before stepping outside, and eyes seem to pass over each of you as if he is looking at cardboard cutouts. And he just gives a little tight smile and says, sorry to bother you. This will be quick. And then steps out and speaks to Mars.
I have a question.
Hopefully we have an answer.
A Chaz question or a Meghan question?
Okay, so I have a really cool thing called shadow perspective,
Mm-hmm.
where I can send my shadow out to kind of spy on things for me. And I'm wondering if maybe Chaz's shadow could also slip out the door with them and keep an eye on what's going on. Purely for her safety, of course.
So, shadow perspective lets you put your perspective into a shadow that you can see.
Oh, that's right.
There's a different power that lets you manipulate your shadow, which you could use together, but I don't believe you have shadow cast.
No, I would actually love it if I could become, or if I could use Mars's shadow.
Well, they close the door behind them, so unless you want to quite conspicuously get up and follow them, I think probably you are out of luck.
What's everybody else doing? Did everybody else, or did they just let them leave?
Anybody else know Mars was hiding a hottie from us? Or
I don't know if Antonio would know. Did someone Mars talk?
You
a decent
probably-
amount, but...
no, Mathias would actually know. Technically.
Antonio, you've been at the double tap and might have seen that man around once or twice, but I don't think you would know much more than that. Unless Rachel, you think Mars would tell him.
I don't know. I think she may have talked about him before, but I don't know if she's pointed out who he was. But she greeted him as Elliot, and if so, Antonio, you might connect who that is. Maybe I think maybe we've had a conversation about that.
You know what? Actually, I think, because I don't want to be like Snoopy in front of them, but I think that Chaz would not want to just let that happen without seeing what's going on. So I think she is going to, in a very ladylike way, excuse herself to the bathroom and see if she can get outside to see what's going on.
Okay.
Anybody else find that suspicious because we don't use the bathroom?
I was thinking the same thing.
Powder room.
We're already very pale.
I literally didn't even think of that. That's so cool.
I just say, a little bit short on the real blood. Gotta go put on some blush. And I try to skip out.
I think Mathias is still going to be very skeptical
Yeah, I'm
of
gonna
that
quick
reasoning.
insight on that.
Blush of life? Come on now. Rouse check like the rest of us.
I don't think you need to roll insight. I think you can just be suspicious of that, Antonio. But Chaz, why don't you... I don't think your stealth is in question here. I think it's a matter of how quickly you are able to sort of snoop around and find wherever they've gone. Because you don't know where they went in the building. So why don't you roll Wits Investigation for me?
Which one of those comes first?
The skill, sorry. Investigation Wits in Sky's accent.
In Sky's accent.
It's a local dialect.
You know what the common saying in Seattle? say the skill backwards. Gravity comes at midnight and skills come first. That's right.
The gravity comes at midnight.
And the hand does not move without Elysium.
Not my
Not
2
great.
out of 6 successes.
You can re-roll 2 of them.
You can if you want to spend a willpower, but I wouldn't.
No, I think I'll cut my losses. I tried.
With 2 successes, you are able to snoop around, and you eventually are able to, by kind of putting your, it costs rouse checks to use Shadow's perspective. So if you want to do that, you can. Otherwise, this is just sort of you snooping around trying to listen for something. And eventually, it takes a couple minutes, and I think you hear some muffled talking coming from behind a door elsewhere in the sort of back part of the double tap. And on 2 successes, you will just hear kind of a muffled male voice saying something quietly, and then Mars responding a little more angrily with something like,
I really need you to not follow me around everywhere. I think there are more cordial ways that we can discuss this.
more muffled, lower tones, and then something of a heavy sigh. You hear footsteps approaching the door.
Oh, I'm gonna try to scamper away then. I don't want to get caught.
Okay.
Roll to hide.
Yeah, go ahead and let's do that stealth roll now. So Dex stealth. You can add 2 dice for your shadow cloak, which is free.
Here we go. Kiss the dice, give them a roll.
You know what? I'm gonna roll this one just in front of everyone because I'm too lazy to get my dice out.
2 successes.
Miss Dollian. Hear the voice. Low, quiet, and yet it still rings out through the hall as you turn away.
Chaz?
Hi, sorry. I was just looking for the bathroom. I know that we don't use the bathroom, but somebody does, and there are still mortals who come here. Bit of an inspection, that's all.
Elliot looks at you, Mars, in a rare shared moment of connection. Just,
She looks back at Elliot, not quite as confused as he is because she knows Chaz, but she also didn't expect to find her right outside the door. So she looks at him and she's like, proof that maybe these discussions don't need to happen when I'm in the middle of a meeting.
My apologies. I have a busy schedule. Just wanted to make some time to see you. Have a nice night, ladies.
She scrunches her nose at him.
He disappears, heading out through the crowd to the exit.
She looks back to Chaz and is like, it's okay. Thank you for trying to check in.
No, of course. Always here to check in. Unfortunately, we are on a bit of a time crunch. I point at my watch. I've got things to say. You've got places to be. What do you say we get back to the rest of the crew?
Yeah. Trust me, I really didn't need to have that conversation right now, but you know what? It is what it is. And I follow you back.
What's just real quick, what is that short few minutes of Mathias, Antonio, and Reggie in the green room? Just what does that look like?
I think it's dead silent.
Yeah, I think so too.
Just dead silent, awkward.
I think Antonio doesn't have conversation.
I think Reggie left.
Reggie, I guess, left, and Mathias doesn't really feel like talking right now. So, just quiet.
Well, if Reggie does leave, I think there's still silence, but then at a point, Antonio will just say, "Should we go get them?"
What? Oh, no, they'll be back.
Last time they were out of our eyesight, they bit someone.
I guess.
All right.
Reggie would go and try and find Elliot.
Oh, okay.
God.
Great. You know what? I'm going to say, with the way that the rest of that went out, you are able to... Well, there's not a big time window between him leaving and everyone else noticing that you're gone. So I'm going to say you can catch up to him outside, but you're only going to have a few, 30 seconds before someone comes to find you.
Yeah, that's fine. I think as Reggie is like marching across the dance floor, and they just seem to know where he is.
Mm-hmm.
Under Reggie's breath, he's saying another one of those weird little poems. Off my hand and my foot for beck and call, his will in itself, the final downfall. Beauty is telling in the bloodletting.
Mm.
As they throw open that door and look out, and they see him on the sidewalk or wherever he is getting into his car or something like that.
Yeah, in the gravel. Yeah, he's getting into a Blacktown car.
Yeah, and Reggie's just like, hey. I know I'm not supposed to approach you, but you need more information, or you got something for me, maybe?
He kind of looks at you in a look of confusion, like he genuinely doesn't recognize you. You see his eyes flit back to the doors of the bar behind you, and he seems to make a quick decision before ducking his head in the car, pulling out, and he gives you another clip of a couple bills. It says, "Have a nice night, Reggie. Go back inside."
I think Reggie will quickly tuck those into their jacket and then head around the building to another entrance, going that way.
Okay. Could you please roll Resolve plus Awareness for me?
Radical.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Tweet, here comes a bird.
All right. Or as I say it, Awareness, Resolve.
Awareness, yeah, in your weird accent.
3
4.
successes.
4 successes.
That's 4.
4 successes.
Okay. I will make another note. Okay, so he pulls the door shut, the car drives away, and we get this. So Reggie comes in from one door, Antonio and Mathias come in another time, and then Mars and Chaz, you all basically, staggered arrive back at the green room in reverse order there.
This is an episode of Scooby-Doo.
We are the Scooby-Doo gang.
Reggie, where did you go?
That's just some fresh air. It's just getting stuffy in here.
Everybody has really bad excuses tonight. We don't breathe.
Okay, well, let's get going. Chaz?
Oh, right, yes. To Olga, everybody. So I can only take one of you on my motorcycle. Everybody else, I'm just going to have to give directions. Unless somebody else wants to drive?
I mean, we can follow you.
GPS?
My phone doesn't have that.
Reggie, you're in my car. That's fine.
Okay.
Well, how many seats in the car? Will I fit in the car?
It's a It's a sedan. It's like 5. Actually, yeah, we'll fit. Yeah, that's fine.
It's a bit of a squish, but Reggie's small.
I could follow in my scooter.
Actually, that sounds really cramped.
Reggie, we'll tie a rope to the bumper and you can skitch on the back.
That didn't go well last time.
Okay, new plan. I'll take the motorcycle. You guys will follow me on the motorcycle. And I point at Reggie, who looks terrified. And I say, you can ride with me if you want to.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right, where to?
All right. The coterie rides up and gets into Foreign Mars's car, one on the motorcycle, and we head out east from the double tap to meet with another primogen, Seattle's Kindred. And so closes another chapter of Midnight Gravity. Thank you all for listening and playing. Wow, that was the quietest one yet.
It was just me.
Something
Sorry, that wasn't about the ending. I just have this lovely fresh tray of muffins. Would anyone like one?
I will take one, please. I need it.
It's a joke. You're not a real vampire if you want a muffin.
Busted.
I mean, I might just like looking at it. It's just
Trap.
neat.
You can smell it. Can you?
It's just
can you
Now
smell
the
Can the Kindred smell?
It smells like ash.
vampires can smell, yes.
vampires can
Can
smell.
Vampires can bake.
Well, be careful, because if you burn it, it's bad. Anyway,
Bad luck.
Meghan, as our special guest, would you care to plug anything first? Your socials, your whatever, a fun movie you watched recently?
Ooh, I could do both. I'm on Instagram at Hello Meghan Martin. I have a couple of films that are in festivals, and I post there whenever they're going to be up. So, if you're in the area, and you can see them. And I just saw Talk to Me, and it was super spooky and fun. So if anybody likes scary movies, go see Talk to Me.
Oh, that's the
Thank you.
Rocka guys, right? Sorry, Rocka. I forgot one of the Rockas.
Yeah. Oh, it's fun.
Oh,
It's like a
I see
possessed
that.
hand thing, but they kind of act like it's drugs. It's like a Gen Z horror film. It's so fun.
And that's Meghan with an H, right?
Yep, Meghan.
Clarify for the listeners. Okay, great. Rachel,
Guess what?
what's up?
You can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Majora's Rose, or on my personal Instagram at Rachel Kordell. At Rachel Kordell. I clicked when I said that, so I'm sorry, Jonas. Actually, I think I
I'll
need
leave
to
that
say
all
it
in.
again. The Instagram is... No, I'm kidding. What's your favorite era of music? Will tonight's song fall into it? You can check it out by listening to our playlist over on the YouTube channel, or by looking up my Spotify account and giving it a listen. Who knows what you'll find? A mystery? A love story? Enjoy.
TINTENSEHER, Linktree, YouTube, itch. Thanks.
Woo!
Woo.
I have a serious question.
Yeah.
Yes?
What happened to the Plug Master?
Oh, he had the final death.
Oh, did he?
The plug master got caught in a time loop and accidentally plugged himself. So
Oh no.
You gotta wait for that to resolve.
If you listen really closely, you can actually hear them plugging right now.
He's infinitely generating mass now in another dimension, basically.
I can't, ew, no. No.
he'll be back once he works that one out. It's gotta pass through a little while.
Yeah.
So it's like a kidney stone.
Oh God.
Casey?
Oh, thank you, Plug Master. Jonas
Of
was
course.
sitting quiet on the job. Yeah, you can check out my
The
social
plug
medias.
master, listen. The plug master belongs to all of us.
No,
I
it
disagree.
belongs to Seth Michael Covey.
The Plug Master is a spirit that possesses people.
Why is my nose
and it-
bleeding?
and
I'm
it-
really scared.
And it possessed Andrew. It's
Nope,
okay.
it chooses one person. And it stays with that person until they die.
This is
You know,
established lore.
Casey, you were
This is
you were
fair.
the one who criticized, I think, Rachel for improving "no fuck you" as earlier in this season
Yeah, and?
instead of yes and no fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
taking a page. Listen, this
We're
is me.
overtime.
Yes,
Do your
this
plug.
is me yes-anding her. Fuck no.
Please save me from this horror.
Check my socials at Casey Reardon. There's stuff there sometimes.
Plug accepted.
Andrew, would you care to plug the website or YouTube or
No,
TikTok?
because I'm too disappointed about the plug master. Yeah, we got a spiffy new website out there. If you haven't gone on yet, what's wrong with you? A lot of love went into that. A lot of care and consideration, and who knows, maybe things will be showing up and disappearing from time to time on there, so maybe you should keep a close eye.
I don't know what that means.
Who knows? I know.
Guy?
And if you liked it, you can go ahead and leave us a review on one of the many places where you can leave a review. There are all sorts of fun places that you can leave a review. So choose one and do it. Please.
Any of them. There's so many. Anyway.
It was so straightforward.
What time should they leave the reviews, Guy?
7 p.m.
Explicitly?
Yeah. You know why?
Why?
Because around then we say...
Good
night.
morning.
You don't say good morning at 7 p.m. We got him, boys. We got him.
Eggs and bakey, everyone. It's
Not
time
at 7
to
p.m.
have
it ain't.
breakfast.
Not at 7 p.m. it ain't.
It's called
breakfast food is
breakfast for
anytime.
dinner, you fucking
You don't say
piece
good morning
of
at dinner.
I'll fucking kick you off here.
Fucking try it. You can't get in the closet. Oh.
Language, guys.
Oh. Oh, no! It's all good.
Put him in the waiting room.
Good night.
Oh. That was rude. This guy kicked me out of the meeting room, and I'm gonna say bad things about him until he lets me back in. 1, he's a jerk. He kicked me out of the meeting room. Oh, I'm back.